In terms of makeup, I think it is fantastic. It doesn't really stain, and what's nice is it stays wet for a long time, and then it clots itself. So it kind of works as a gel, works as blood scab, and works as liquid blood. You doing okay? Almost? Yeah. Alright, now what I'm going to do is actually inflate this a little bit just to get the shape, because right now it's kind of all folded and hodgepodgey. I'm going to place it across her neck to try to get this stick and let it deflate. And I'm going to let this hang behind you. Is that choking you at all? Okay. Okay, actually do me a favor and just hold that. And try not to move. Alright, and before I lay the foam latex prosthetic on top of this, very, very carefully, I'm going to use scissors. You want to wait till it's laid down on top of her. And I'm going to cut a very thin slice on one side of the balloon. Like I said, you can use any kind of balloon, but in terms of flexibility and how easy it is to use, I always recommend these. Okay, I'm going to try to cut this, the length, about 2/3 across. And what this will do is when the blood pumps into it, it's using it as a bladder, and it'll fill that whole area, and then all come out of the, where you cut it evenly instead of just shooting out in one direction or looking just awful. Okay, and I went almost all the way across. Okay, what I'm going to do now is take my pre-made foam latex prosthetic. I actually did just generic base coat of paint, that's just to make things a little quicker and easier, and line it up on her. Now this tube is going to be in sight, but just off-site. That's one of the advantages of having that bladder. And since this is more for film and extreme entertainment industry, it's a matter of camera being on a proper angle to hide things. Magician's tricks, basically. So what I'm going to do is put more adhesive on her neck so that I can glue down the prosthetic. I want to keep where I made the slit clear of prosthetic or of adhesive, including the inside of the actual cut itself, so that I can freely move and open.
Yeah.
If there's any questions about materials, where to get things, or anything specific that I'm using, ask at any time or find me later and I'll let you know where to get anything.
What about that?
And in terms of using the condom, latex will stick to latex.
What did you call it?
The balloon. And make sure you locate where you did the cut. Try to avoid that area. Air dries, you know, you still see wet spots, but you see how it's basically clear everywhere else. The spots that are clear are the areas that are dry, and then once it dries, it's basically. And I'm kind of, in terms of time, not literally go as fast as I normally would. In fact, I'm not going to spend all the time blending the edges and sealing it properly, strictly because this is a quick class. You doing okay? Now, what I would do normally, if I had all the time in the world, is after I glue this down, I would continue to take Prozade and I would cover the entire foam latex piece in it, because if you've ever used foam latex, you'll notice whenever you put makeup down on it, it kind of soaks into it and the colors change, it gets saturated, you don't get as true colors. And what this does is it seals it. It fills in all the porous parts of the foam and makes it easier to put any colors on. I just try to seal the edges a little bit to get it to hold a little better. Doing okay? And you'll hear me ask that 10.5 billion times. To me, it's an important thing. You always want to make sure that your actors, you know, in hunt and film and whatever, are as comfortable as possible. If they're uncomfortable, despite what they say, oh yeah, I'm fine, they're either going to start complaining or it's going to become difficult to work with. Now that I have that relatively secured down, I'm going to put basic makeup on her. She has more of an olive tone to her skin. As you can tell, it's like a crazy different color, the makeup. So I found the closest that I had. It's nice to have whatever makeup you can get. Throw whatever you find in your box, whether it's your mom's mascara and blush, or a Mayron Paradise kit, or $200 worth of airbrush. If you find lipstick of any color at all, throw it in your box, because you'll never know when you may need specific colors. I know this doesn't match your skin, but like I said, I'm trying to work with what I got right now.
Yeah, looks fine.
Close-ish. She has more of a yellow tone. Her and I discussed this earlier.